You think you know the Unova region? Think again. Black and White was supposed to actually be an entirely different game. The beta footage, the scrap Pokemon, really infer that this game was going to be completely different. And before the Unova region became the region that we know today, even looked completely different. We have hidden inside developer folders from early builds of the game, even an entirely new playstyle of the game, which honestly I would have loved to have seen, and I still hope that they could do something like this in the future. So let's take a look at the Generation 5 beta scrapped content. What's interesting about this is the Black and White games are the next in line for remakes, which we actually do have leaks about that. But what those leaks boil down to is that Gen 5 remakes are happening eventually, but not anytime necessarily soon. So some of this beta scrapped content we could actually potentially see in the remake, or even some sort of brand new Legend style Generation 5 game. So something super interesting is that Black and White apparently could have taken place almost entirely inside the city, which we know we just had Legend ZA, which does take place entirely inside the city. So Generation 5 Black and White from all this time ago could have been the first Pokemon game to take place literally just in the city. Because we know Castelia City is based on Manhattan. I'm not even gonna lie, I think that would have actually been super cool and very interesting to see like how they would have done that with the DS style graphics of Pokemon games. Let me know what your favorite generation is, guys. Gen 5 is probably my favorite. I just have so much nostalgia. I just think the games are great, you know what I'm saying? I love the games. In the development files, there are multiple unused urban tile sets, a bunch of different just like city block layouts, just so we could actually have the city basically be the map, if that makes sense. And we all know that Black and White were actually supposed to be like the most urban Pokemon games ever made, which now I guess Legend ZA has probably beat that. There are a lot of scrapped like subway features throughout the game, like unused subway nodes, transit-based map connections. So it seems like we were originally going to be like navigating throughout the entire city using the transit system, the subway, which I think would have been pretty cool. The craziest thing to me is that the game apparently was actually gonna be like a free movement style game, like more of an open world style Pokemon game on the DS, which would have been something absolutely wild and honestly amazing. I would have loved that. Here's some beta footage. You could see it's a more like open development. There are people all over the place, NPCs walking around, which I don't know if it would have been this active. I think that would have been awesome though. But you can see people rock climbing, bro. We got rock climbers up in Gen 5. Just like a more lively atmosphere, which is so awesome to see. Obviously, this is like prototype, so the game wouldn't have literally looked just like this with like a random building just kind of sitting in the middle of like a ramp right there, or a hill. This reminds me of the newer leaks that we have about the Pokemon MMO coming out. Apparently, we are getting an official Pokemon MMO with several regions stitched together. So this is hopefully what it's going to look like. I think this would be an amazing game to have a real official Pokemon MMO with the classic Pokemon style, you know what I'm saying? With the classic animation, the art style, and just a bunch of trainers walking around just like this. What's cool is that there are also Pokemon walking around as well, but this is like an unused area of the map. But could you imagine what this would actually have looked like if we got it in the game? I think this would have been amazing. It makes me wonder, like, would have the original reception of the games have been different if they actually went down this alley, you know what I'm saying? Because Generation 5, when they dropped, people didn't really like them that much. Here is more footage. This one is a little bit more blurry, so, you know, just ignore the blurriness. But here's some more beta footage where you can kind of like see the different, you know, 3D camera moving all the way around. And once again, a ton of trainers, a ton of people just walking around, being able to go up and down cliffs just like that. Now, this really does remind me of Scarlet and Violet, bro. Not even the animation style, like, because I swear this looks better than Scarlet and Violet, but just like the way you can, you know, traverse up mountains, walk all the way around. Obviously, that's how like modern day Pokemon games are, where you're able to have a 3D movement control of the camera and just be able to like walk wherever you want. Look how big the cars are, bro. That's insane. But yeah, you could just see the different movement style and stuff. And of course, this is like more of what we actually got. So this is also prototype footage, which looks extremely similar to what we got. Like, I'm not even like really noticing anything different, honestly. But something that is incredibly interesting to me is that apparently Mewtwo was supposed to have another form in this game. So you can see in an early Black and White build, Mewtwo supposedly had another form, possibly a Mega Mewtwo. I believe it was referenced to as the Awakened Mewtwo, which could have led into Mega Evolution. We know that the next generation of Pokemon after this, X and Y, which is Gen 6, that's the first game to like introduce the evolution gimmick stuff, and obviously the first game with Mega Evolution in it. Now Mega Evolution is like a fan favorite. People just love Mega Evolutions. But yeah, this could have been like the earliest form of what Mega Evolution could have potentially been. Somebody replied and said it's called Awaken Form during M16's release, which later becomes Mega Mewtwo Y. Such a fascinating piece of information there. I love that one. Okay, next up, we're gonna go over like the weirdest oddity in the game. So from the 2024 Game Freak leak, which is pretty much where most of this information came from, is just that huge teraleak that we had with just everything Pokemon, literally every single generation of Pokemon, guys. So make sure to subscribe, turn on the post notifications, because I want to cover a lot of it, because I feel like a lot of it hasn't been talked about. Make sure to hype up the video if you are enjoying this type of content. I think it's so fun to take a look at the past and like see what could have been, you know what I mean? So apparently there was a semi-functional ROM of a Yoshi game called the Yoshi Egg, or Yossi Egg, my bad. The title screen is graphically corrupted and the area to select the game mode is non-functional. Certain buttons might cause the game to outright not take any type of input, but one can play a single-player game of Yoshi's Egg on the DS. The game was originally developed for a Super Famicom, such as the game logo reading Super Yoshi no Tamago, and the copyright title being listed as 1995, which is interesting. I don't really know why this would have actually been in the game, but hey, it's a weird oddity, weird fact about Pokemon Black and White. Here is some concept art designs of, we got Hilbert and Hilda. Could those be the worst names of all time? I don't know, maybe. Essentially exactly what we got. So early concept art, like concept sketches. I love to see stuff like this. I always think it's so fascinating. There's a whole list here. Obviously, I'll leave a link to all the sources in the description down below if you want to like check it out firsthand for yourself. Here we got just a bunch of characters right there. You can see like the height differences too, which is pretty cool to see. I still to this day think N and Getsis are probably the coolest, at least, you know, with their fashion sense, bro. No, they are just awesome. I love N. I love Getsis. I think they're so cool. I mean, bro, look at that. Look at what he's wearing. That's crazy. Here is a huge list of a ton of beta scrapped sprites and designs of Pokemon. So you can see we have, you know, Snivy and Serperior. Bro, I actually kind of like that a lot. I mean, Snivy's eyes look a little funny, but you know, I can see the vibe, I can see the vision. Looks like a different color too, like a nice blue almost. I like it though. I'm actually not hating that. Honestly, the Tepig line looks pretty cool too. I mean, it's essentially what we got. It's extremely similar, but you could see the difference, right? We have the elemental monkeys right here, which don't know where that guy came from. Got Snorlax monkey, I guess. You know, this has been one that has always like been so weird to me to see. I don't know why, but it's cool to see. Like, you know, Audino looks exactly the same. Excadrill essentially looks the same. Darumaka looks a little bit different. Scolipede looks the same, which he got that Mega Evolution treatment in ZA. That's creepy. That fool's teeth. I don't like that. Get that out of my screen, bro. The original Zekrom and Kyurem and Reshiram designs are so kind of cool. I mean, bro, Zekrom and Reshiram, I'm not even gonna lie, I think that is fire. I think that it looks so sick. The Zekrom design, I mean, I think I do like what we got better. But that does look really cool, though. I do like that. The original, like, Landorus, Thundurus, and stuff, bro, creepy. I don't like that. I like what we got way, way more. And here are some cut Pokemon. What? Dude, that looks like an amazing Pokemon. I love that. Looks like one of the Pikachu clones. And this Pokemon over here, dude, I love that, too. It's like a Mew, Meryl, Pikachu clone combo. I think that is so sick. I totally think that would have been probably a fan favorite in 5. I wonder why they scrapped that. Victini is my favorite mythical Pokemon. Let me know your favorite mythical Pokemon. But yeah, he originally was gonna have a different color palette, which I'm not even gonna lie, I kind of like that. I may like that a little bit more, but at the same time, I don't know. Do I? Victini is the GOAT though. You can see different colors of Kyurem. I think that looks pretty cool. Blue and red, which I wonder why they went with that color. I think the gray is probably better, like storyline wise. Different forms of, you know, Landorus, Thundurus and stuff, which, I mean, that's kind of sick. I mean, I mess with that. We got some more, you know, Kyurem, Reshiram. We got Genesect over here, like some sprite, like, looks like in-game sprites, which, bro, that looks sick. I like that a lot. These Pokemon, weird looking, but hey, we got a purple original Zekrom. Zorua looked a little bit different, like a little bit of a different color palette, which looks pretty sick. Here's a bunch of different Pokemon though right here, like a bunch of different sprites, kind of designs. You can see the Tepig, Emboar line right there. Samurott and like Oshawott look pretty much exactly the same to me. Joltik looks the same. Emolga looks way more like Pikachu though. I like the Emolga that we got in the game way more. This doesn't look as good. I don't know where they were going with this design. This one, very fun. It looks like a capybara with like horns. That it's kind of cool though. It's so stupid that it looks cool. Blue Stunfisk with that creepy mouth. Okay, I like it. I mean, I like the color way more for sure. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you want to see a part 2 because there are a lot more Generation 5 stuff. And I also want to do this for like the other generations, like Gen 2, 3, 1, whatever it may be. Let me know if you want me to turn this into like more of a series type of thing where I talk about all of the scrapped content of Pokemon. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications so you don't miss all the new Pokemon leaks, news, and updates. If you guys aren't aware, a lot of stuff's going to start coming out very soon because Gen 10 is going to be announced very soon. If you are real and watching this far in the video, comment down below ice cream. Let me know what you want the next word of the day to be. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.